Greetings, Legendary Badass here. Enjoying a Red Bull that I'd opened from the previous stream last night that nobody joined me for because it was on Twitch. I also have a tea behind me somewhere, and oh no, I've got a root beer. Oh no, I had a root beer tea earlier. Got Dr. Pepper, Mountain Dew, drinking lots of water. New to here says, yo, let's really get into this. Tonight's topic, I've got to reflect on AI a little bit here, guys. I was watching this guy's YouTube channel. He seems kind of spazzy. So this guy Drew Gooden, not the NBA player with the patch of the hair in the back, watched this video the other day, and he was going on about how technology, and I've got it, I should have it muted so it doesn't cause a problem here. Technology is just not fun like it used to be. Maybe you look forward to games and games kind of just end up the same. He rents an Airbnb. Your first mistake is renting an Airbnb. And the TV had the motion smoothing on, and there was no way they could defeat it. And it turns out Roku, like last summer, had an update for all the Roku TVs, forcing motion smoothing on. Oh, but you could call it a glitch, an error. I've had things like that happen. My Apple Watch had some kind of update from Apple where it couldn't fast charge when I bought it. Had to wait. I mean, I was going in on this Belkin charger I have when it was really Apple's fault. The shame of it is, I think that ultimately, and maybe I even pulled the wrong video here, AI, man, has me really sour on the whole YouTube experience, just in every capacity, because I want you to imagine something, guys. Yeah, good evening. Yo, I see you. Imagine that you want to start a YouTube channel, but it's 2025. What are your prospects? Well, you can kiss LeBron James's ass so that mass numbers of LeBron jock sniffers like you for sharing the opinion they agree with. Okay, that's one of your options. Otherwise, you could just be one of these usual asshats over here in movie YouTube, where we no longer review movies. Instead, we conjecture, oh, Snow White comes out and they had pre-sales 2 weeks in advance, because it's an industry standard, and nobody was buying pre-sales. Nobody was, who on God's green earth says, let's go to a movie, okay, I'll book it 2 weeks in advance. Maybe a day ahead that evening, this is when you buy your movie tickets. When said, oh, the pre-sales are so low, this movie ready to flop. And all we do is just drill in on a movie we haven't seen and talk about how much it's going to flop, praying that it flops. That's movie YouTube now, guys. Casting rumors, this is a disaster. Peter Dinklage said short people shouldn't be dwarves and pulls up the ladder behind everybody as if, I mean, they really needed the ladder because they're already short. Then you have the CGI dwarfs come in, and then we're making fun of the trailer. Her hair looks funny. Why is she staying next to Gal Gadot? But we're calling her Snow White, not because her skin's so white, because she was born during a blizzard. And we're going to just drill in on this movie. We're training ourselves to hate under the expectation that our viewers expect us to hate it. And that is movie YouTube now. And when that's not good enough, go over here to this asshole Dave Cullen. 2 days ago, he's still talking about Captain America Brave New World being a bomb. Is he trying to speak it into profitability? What is this crap? It's just countless videos. It's like, it's already out. I didn't like it. I still didn't like it. I'm going to keep reacting to this trailer for the Superman. What's our next focus? Superman. What are we going to do, guys? That's movie YouTube now. I got to get it on a shirt, but his widow's going to get pissed at me. Film criticism died with Roger Ebert. So I would like to think that of the available niches of one would consider making a YouTube video on, movies, maybe streaming, it kind of correlates to the natural task of making a video. You need a camera, right? You have microphones. You have some of the same kind of equipment you would use if you were out making a documentary. But we don't do documentary reviews so much around here. They're not mainstream. They're not profitable. We just had an Oscars where a guy walked away with 4 Oscars and he probably had to smelt them in order to pay for his mortgage because there was no money in making a movie. There's no money in making movies that will win awards. And I mean, look at it this way, guys. Okay, so Sean Baker, director, editor, writer, whatever, producer, whatever of Anora. He says, it's a good thing I don't have kids because I couldn't afford to have kids and make this movie. When you are saying this on the pedestal, this is the best movie of the year, and we can't even make, this guy can't even make any money. Oh, you'll be lucky if some distributor buys the movie off of you so you can break even. And that is you being lucky. And where does Sean Baker go from here? Is there a Marvel prostitute movie that Disney can just serve to him on a silver platter? When the movies don't make any money, how do you get more people to become filmmakers? You don't. And with YouTube, I'm seeing a scenario here. I'll get into the comments in a sec. I'm riffing. I'm seeing a scenario here where soon enough, there will be so much AI garbage all over the internet. It will exceed the amount of stuff made by people. And it will be so easy to make. It'll proliferate. It'll just go off and it won't even matter how authentic you are. There's some guy on YouTube or one of these drinker cultists, whatever, one of their bros is going around saying authenticity is the currency of the future. That is some bullshit. Because LeBron James fans, there is just too many dumbasses out there for you to convince that authenticity matters. There will always be more dumbasses than geniuses because geniuses are rare, tough. It is difficult to even take a normie and train them up, educate them. That's effort, and people don't do effort. It's so much easier to not have effort and just have shit spoon-fed to you. Authenticity won't matter. The AI will be making YouTube channels, essentially, just like they're doing with Spotify right now. I'm going to have to pull this shit up, but it is insane. There's a possibility that Spotify has fake music. And I think this guy Drew Gooden got into this. Spotify has music with an issue with fake artists this week. The week, is this thing going to pull up some kind of stupid ad? Spotify has an issue with fake artists. I want you to imagine a scenario, guys, where there's $4 billion, as Spotify said just yesterday. They doled out $4 billion to artists last year. I think it was 4 billion. Maybe it's 10 billion. It was a lot. But 4% of artists make money or something like this, or aren't starving, or can be an artist as a living, a recording artist. There's people just going out there, AI jams, calling it sleep music, whatever, gets in some sleep music rotation, somebody leaves it on, and they collect the revenue. And it's easy. And you could make $10,000 doing that in a month, $10,000 a month for just AI, just not even, you don't make a genre that you're interested in, because singing pop lyrics, whatever, or trying to be the next Michael Jackson, that's tough. We're going the easy route, bitch. We're just going to go sleep ass music, drifty, ethereal, whatever garbage. We're going to do that and just make a ton of money. And it's just, no one knows who the artist is. It doesn't matter. Authenticity is not guaranteed here. Authenticity doesn't matter. Look at all the DJs hiding behind masks and shit. You think that stuff's authentic? None of that matters. Just product, something to consume, something to have played so that you can get some of that revenue. So It doesn't even matter. What if I told you, though, that in the diabolical scheme of this, maybe Spotify is running some of these fake artists so that they can get a piece of the revenue, because maybe they don't really make enough from everybody having $8.99 student plans or whatever, and all the other plans are always getting jacked up. What if Spotify would rather take that money and then just kind of, we're supposed to send that out to everybody, but we kind of keep more than we're supposed to because we're operating some of those fake artists. That's the AI on Spotify. You don't think the same shit's going to happen on YouTube? You don't think that YouTube's not going to just glean through the articles? Because look at this garbage. Look at this garbage. These guys, Film Threat, all they do is we pulled up an article and we react to it. We pulled up an article and we react to it. AI can already do that shit. Dave Cullen showed off on his channel just the other day, and it was kind of cool. And I'm trying to find it here. He had a thing he said about AI kind of like reading a thing to him. Did he like take that down? Oh, the freaky AI generated conversation. AI scanned his voice. We've got some kind of ad going here. I'll get to your guys' comments in a bit, guys, please. And the AI does a pretty authentic job of mimicking his voice. And I kind of want to make sure that we don't have his sound on, because I don't want these guys getting a piece of my sweet, sweet ad revenue, my 2 pennies. So you could already type something up rather than have to buy the microphone, put on attire, put on your makeup, all that shit, do your hair, and people will just digest it because they're very used to lazy bullshit content, reacting to articles. So he's just going to pull this thing up and he's going to have it like summarize his book and then set it against something else. AI generates a summary of your book and reads it back or converses about it like it's a podcast. And it's good enough to fool most people because most people are dumb. So what good is authenticity if you can fool people with your fakeness, right? And he gets kind of like freaked out about this thing. He sets the thing, he scanned his voice in some way, had it mimic his voice to narrate his book, and it sounds just like him. Authentically so. What good is authenticity if most people think the fake shit is real? What good is it? Because the fake shit can just churn stuff out with reckless abandon. There will be YouTube personally offering channels that just glean through articles and react to them and sound like a convincing enough 19-year-old hot chick. And it'll do so faster than any human can. And those will be the top channels. YouTube will do the same shit Spotify might be doing and just say, screw it. We'll make the content ourselves. Who cares what any of these asshats have to say? All they do is react to articles. Why don't we just react to articles? Why were we thinking about premium television style shows like Cobra Kai when we could just react to articles with AI? The AI is just always searching for articles and always has a reaction to them and always reacts to the trailer and then always talks about the gross of some movie it doesn't like. And then you'll just have different flavors of AI. This is the AI that's the pessimist that likes the original Star Wars trilogy, kind of likes the prequels, but really hates the sequels. And you'll just find the AI you like, and everybody else is screwed. The end. Now I'll get to your damn comments. Shit. You can't slow the AI down, guys. Cyberdyne Systems has launched Skynet. There's no going back. We can't keep up with this. And it probably won't even take that long. By the end of the decade, it will look like realistically enough hot chick presenting the video that you'll just be like, why would we look at this guy over here? Right? Destronio. Most movies are bloated, formulaic, self-indulgent operations deserving of our contempt. Yeah, it got that way before the AI could really screw the shit up too. I posit this. The movie studios having to be bought up by bigger corporations that only gave a shit about their bottom line is a big part of the problem. Movie YouTube is just now figuring some of the shit out I've been saying for years about how Disney would rather put, say, $200 million into one movie instead of 10 movies at $20 million a piece. Because they're operating on this profit margin that, okay, what if we doubled our money on you're going to get hits and misses with those 10 $20 million budget films. I miss the days of the sleeper hit when we could have a movie that was maybe 20 million and it would turn around and make 500 million. Pretty Woman, for example. We don't have that shit anymore. We don't have sleeper hits because we would just rather go on IP and brand recognition, and that's bankable, rather than have to try to introduce the public to a new star and try to tell them they're the next Julia Roberts. Or here's a story you're not familiar with, but it might be kind of like some other shit. Those risks are only in the indie world, and those people get 4 Oscars and make no money and are glad they don't have kids because they couldn't afford to put them in school. Like that kind of garbage. But why would they take a big risk when they say, okay, we made 10% profit based on, like, there's some metric to this. And it's like, okay, so we had a hit indie movie and we made $10 million. But if we made the money we expect to make on the Marvel thing, and we made a same amount of percentage, we would make more money. That's where the money's at. When you're the little guy in the stock market, oh wow, I doubled my money. Okay, you got $40. If you're Elon Musk, I doubled my money. Now that's a feat. If you had a setting in which you expect to double your money on a bet, wouldn't it work out more to your benefit if it was a ton of money? Like, okay, we got a surefire thing, but whoever puts the most money in is going to by far make more. Does that make some sense to you? So we have a surefire thing here. We've got IP someone cares about. We expect to make money. Star Wars. We would rather just grind out some Star Wars stuff than have to try to process and dole out enough nepo baby favoritism to try to get 100 brand new IPs launched. They don't care. Netflix right now is more of it's a little bit more of an opportunity thing. There are a lot of people not making money on Netflix because they will take the shot in the dark and then hope that they have the next Stranger Things. And I think they're only willing to do that because Stranger Things is coming to a close and they're like, oh my God, what are we going to do? What are we going to do, man? I mean, we ripped off Harry Potter, but we called it Wednesday. Is that chick going to stick around long enough? Is she making movies that are making too much money? Like, what are we going to do? I don't know. Maybe we need to find something else. We need a backup plan. That's the only reason Netflix cares. Everything is just gone to shit. I swear to God. People wouldn't pray for modern films to fail if the people weren't so scummy. It doesn't help that, like, the collective unit of the Avengers, they found like the most diehard libtard actors they could. And it feels like that was part of the audition process. Like they said, oh man, we really like you for this role, but where are you on climate change? Oh, you were at the pipeline? You were there protesting? Well, okay, you get to be the Hulk. Shit. I think we disagree on Dave Cullen. His old channel, Computing Forever, was really good, and he left YT to make a bunch of Irish political content for a few years. He did that. I used to like his stuff, but now I feel as though he is in the doldrums of React. How many more videos can I get out of America Brave Captain Doesn't Matter? Black. What is the slogan people are calling him? Captain African American, or there was some phrase that people were kicking around. And that burns him out, so now he does entertainment reaction content. Yeah. Most modern films are made by hacks. Once things will revive eventually, it's just an intellectual dark age right now. Can they revive? I'm not entirely against AI being given the wheel here, because we look at how bad the liberals have screwed this shit up, right? The liberals, under the watchful eye of big media, at protecting their bottom line and making the safe bet. And now we have Zendaya in everything because she has more Instagram followers than anybody else at the audition. Like this sort of shit like that. Wouldn't you rather just AI take the wheel instead of the Nepo babies, cronyism, and the such? And let AI have a chance. And then when that sucks, be like, oh, remember the 80s? Like, um, I mean, the thing is, though, with the AI, it's like for sure you have no shot. We already are living under this ruse that, well, if you try hard enough and you act in the whatever the hell, and you'll get your chance. Nope, screw it. At least with the AI, it's like nobody gets a shot. So I feel like that's a little more fair. If HU collapses, you have HU Hollywood University. Like what's HU? Human Universe. If HU collapses, you have a revival. Personally, I'm hoping for classical Greece. Human civilization collapses. Like, oh man, I don't know where we go from here. It'd be very much a post-apocalyptic. We've nuked everything to shit. That's how you end up with a collapse at this point. I think you could get society to collapse when there was more society. When it's like, okay, we think we've conquered the known world, but it turns out there's also China. We just didn't realize it. That's when you can have a failed society. Civilization goes down because there's actually some more to that. Now that we've discovered all the civilizations, it's not like deep in Antarctica, the penguins are ready to uprise when the humans fall flat. Right now, South Korea and Japan media kicking the West's ass. I also have a theory that the next possible trend, as the media is looking for the trends, right? And they're probably thinking, the comic book movie thing, maybe that trend's over. What do we do next? Live action anime adaptation. Sure, it has failed some over on Netflix, but what if we go big, massive budget, cinematic universe? Maybe that doesn't even matter, but just big ass budget. It would be difficult for them to do this because you can't link everything together. Hey, it's Evangelion and Cowboy Bebop cinematic universe combined with One Piece, Naruto. Like, that would be tough to pull off. But there might be an arms race for the anime properties to become live action so that you have the movie version of that. Like, we don't need Snow White brought to life with, the CGI dwarves and whatever the hell else. We probably don't really need the animes regurgitated to us in Hollywood's vision. But they're thinking, hey, all these Zoomers talk about anime nonstop. How do we get money in that? And so that could be the next big thing in that regard. That would be my guess anyway. Hollywood, not Sully. Hollywood, not Sullywood, undead, but You misspelled something, Vaughn. Are you aware of the Dutch paradox in economics? It is how everything over centralizes, federalizes, and collapses. So either way, you're saying over centralizes or becomes uncentralized to the point that it collapses. Like either direction ends up in collapse. That makes sense to me. Marvel is a good example as well. Vaughn, did you click live chat, not top content? Oh my God. It does that every time. It does. No, it says top, and I want all, to be honest with you. Atticus, sorry. Atticus Spadicus just always gets ignored in the chat here. Even 3,000-year-old mummy has more left in it than Hollywood, he says. I feel like Colin is just he's a, guys, I can't stress to you enough that all of the drinker cohorts are entirely expendable. They have the same takes. You know what video they're going to make before it's uploaded. They don't review shit. They react to the trailer, might say something about the movie being bad on the live stream, and then go in on the numbers and how it's not going to make money. Even if that is in your wheelhouse, do you need to watch 20 different channels say the same thing every damn day? And it's not just like that over on in the movie space, guys. Like all the guys over at the Daily Wire are going to comment on the same thing, and they're all going to carry the same flag. They're all going to support each other. I mean, even outside of that, what are they saying that's unique or that you learned by checking them out? When in reality, it is mostly found an article, reacted to this, here's some news we didn't gather, but you heard about it, and that's why you clicked on this, and then this is my take on it. I'm telling you what you're supposed to think. Yeah, what the hell is HU? What were we going on with that? HW, Hollywood, okay. You can't tell any of the young actors apart because they're all so generic. I was thinking about this. When you do impressions of actors, don't you go like Jack Nicholson? You might, if you're as, and the guy's not even that young, but maybe a Seth Rogen laugh. Can you do an impression of Timothy Chalamet, Zendaya, the people that get all the goddamn work? Can you do an impression of them? No, you can't. Okay, it doesn't matter. The shit doesn't matter like it used to. The movies don't make money. People don't watch the awards. And then young people are like, why would I want to do that for a living when I could do a Twitch stream? Twitch stream is profitable. I'm a hot half Asian girl and I can wear a low cut shirt and lick a spoon or some shit while playing Resident Evil 4. You know, I can make a lot more money than at this than Mikey Madison. Vaughn's not seeing my comments. Yeah, I fixed that. I don't know why it's always doing that. I'm glad Vaughn stopped doing the vertical streams. No more lag. The trouble is the vertical streams got new eyes on the channel. This stuff kind of gets sequestered to like, oh, hey, did you make sure that you got notifications? Do you have a habit of tuning in? If not, screw you. Oh, man. Vaughn, Emma Erskine, I don't know what you're saying there, from the Mr. and Mrs. Smith reboot series was actually acting. She is good. Is that where they gave like the chick is Asian and it's what is he? Costco Lando Calrissian? Is that the I forgot the guy's name. He's actually a good stand-up comedian. Would probably be better off as a stand-up comedian than bad singer. And God shit, what's his anyways. So far that is the only role I like her in though. Yeah. I don't even know if you can get iconic, like multiple iconic roles out of somebody now. it's kind of like, oh, wow, you're that person. And then we can just throw you aside. I guess Zendaya manages to get so much work because she has a huge following on Instagram and they think that will help promote the movie. This shit's legal. Why bother having casting calls when you can just go, well, shit, if we get this nobody, even though she's cute, it doesn't matter because then we have to put all this money in trying to get people to care about her before this thing even launches. But if we get Zendaya, we assume she's going to be promoting the movie. It's in her contract. You have to do a certain number of press junkets. Zendaya gets to go on Jimmy Kimmel Live and all the other garbage. And the up and coming person kind of doesn't. So why would we bother looking for someone else? So it's become this arms race of, do you have enough? Are you a big enough influencer for us to care about casting you in anything? If that were the case back in the day, do you think Gene Hackman would have gotten any roles ever? They would have looked at him and be like, this guy looks older than he is. Shit. Robert Duvall, screw that. Dustin Hoffman, not happening. Jack Nicholson, to hell. Like, they'd probably be like, okay, George Clooney, we can work with that, right? Like, that would be about just on some kind of weird appearance and perceived social media clout. Oh man, it's a good thing we didn't have the internet ruining shit for us sooner. In the 80s, everything was pure. And then in the 90s, okay, we hadn't been inundated with the internet, but once we really got that shit in our pocket and we had all the answers to the world in our pocket, suddenly knowledge became useless and worth nothing. You used to have to pay for information about shit. And now everybody's like, so what? Who cares? Like, I can solve any math problem if I wanted to, or some garbage. Everything's a mess. Mary Erkshine, my bad, not Emma Derp. Or Maya. Okay. So, and by Emma Derp, you're making me think of Emma Stone. If they had Netflix, Instagram, and TikTok in the 90s, would that? Yes. I mean, I think there was somebody who I had watched a little ways back, one of these music channels, where well-produced show or whatever, and he was making the point that music is too expendable now. Like, you used to have to buy an album and force your friends to listen to it, and that was how you spread news of this. They used to have these things called bands, okay? And people would have a garage and they'd set up some drums, right? You know, the things that you bang on. Now music just comes from somewhere online, right? They don't really play instruments anymore. Instruments, like woodwind or flute, whatever, the horns, all this other guitars, things that used to happen in music. But now you have subscribed to a service that you forgot to cancel and you occasionally listen to something. Or you just go to YouTube and you check out the music video in your leisure or whatever. You don't have to buy the media in a store and play it on some system you scrapped hard and earned to accommodate. Now it's just something that you listen to on your phone in okay-ish quality. And that's music now. And we're doing the same kind of shit to the movies, where it's something that's kind of playing on the background on your phone that you don't have to go to the movies to see. The movies come to you now. You wait for it to get on a streaming service, and the streaming services devalued the film going experience. And I think most of the normies are thinking, why would I spend? Now they want to charge more money. They want to charge me $20 to see Nosferatu. Then I'm not going to the movies every weekend. And they're pricing this shit to try to take advantage of the few people who remained. So that, in the least, is what Netflix would do to you. Netflix and YouTube in the 90s. Man, do we even get good music in the 90s? Have we had good music since YouTube became a thing? The first thing I looked up on YouTube, the Beat It music video. And I thought, whoa, this is amazing. I can just pull up music videos whenever I want. Whatever music video you want from the 80s and 90s. Like you just type it and it's there. And it seemed amazing, but it was like a deal with the devil. Okay, fine. You can listen to whatever music you want and see the music video on your time, but everything going forward will be shite. And you're like, okay, that's good enough. Let's shake on it. Had to shake on it today. Got my folks a new ride. Nissan Armada Pro 4X, but we're calling it the Pro 4x. Loaded, all the off-road features, and it sits taller than anything on the road. It is one. You might. Okay, you're definitely not as high as a semi truck, but there ain't much else. You drove up next to a Ford F-150 Raptor and was like, "Hey, how you doing?" Shit. It's amazing how we can get advancements in technology. We don't get advancements in entertainment. Entertainment just kind of stays. We top out what is good storytelling, what is good acting, and then we just settle for good enough, don't we? Also, the girl from Wednesday, I do like her. Oh, God, what's her name? One of the few good things about the more recent Scream movies. Oh, shit. Remind me of the name. Hispanic girl, the girl that plays Wednesday. She is a beacon of light in the acting space, but she is a post movie star, wherein she can't get the bankable receipts to prove that she's going to be worth whatever pay. So she's really just going to have to settle for what is. Whereas somebody like Dwayne Johnson's like, yeah, okay, sure. If you pay me $20 million, I'll do Red Notice. They don't do that if Dwayne Johnson didn't have receipts to his name, right? But when you have stars who don't have the receipts to show and they just had a kind of hit streaming series or something like that, right? Then how do you justify giving them enough money to even buy a house in Los Angeles? I got one welcome. I got one. Welcome the AI overlords. Yeah, they're here. They're listening. At what point will the AI shut your voice down for being anything but optimistic about AI? Or would they even care? Because the AI influencer will tell people what they should think, and they'll make more content than you, and they will dominate the search results, the YouTube recommends, the top of the Google, all that stuff. And real people won't have a voice. Freedom of speech. I'm saving freedom of speech. Are you, Elon? Because I go over there on your godforsaken platform X, and every single thing that gets shown my way is not from somebody I follow. It's some trash they found elsewhere, be it Reddit or Instagram or TikTok, that they screen captured, just shared for the hell of it, as if they want to take credit. And then what are the top comments? Bots that are portraying the role of some OnlyFans broad. Oh, you can't say broad. You can't body shame. You don't shame sex workers. And Nora one. Don't you get with this shit? Goddamn. Am I wrong? Have you been over there where they saved free speech by monetizing it? And by saying, hey, if you have something go kind of viral, we'll pay you money. What do people do? Well, it's pretty hard to come up with original content. It's much easier to steal it. And that's what they do. And why are these bots commenting and getting top results on there as some OnlyFans chick? Why are they doing that? Because they know you'll click on their profile and then go see what they're doing and then pay them money. I'm trying to imagine explaining this to myself in 1995. Look, in the future, the internet's going to be everywhere and it's just going to be hoes. Okay? but a lot of them are going to kind of be bots. What's that? Well, it's sort of like uh, it's saying that, wow, this is so impressive. And it'll just comment that on, okay, comments. So like everything that gets shared online ends up with comments that people are gaming the system. We didn't even think about this stuff, man. Like the furthest we went was like you have to put on the VR headset to navigate the internet in the mysterious year of 2021, as seen in Johnny Mnemonic, right? Oh my God. We had no idea it was going to get this shit. Except in the Matrix, where they said we designed the Matrix to like emulate the height of humanity, the year 1999. And the more we look back on that, we're like, yeah, that sounds about right. You know? Emma Derp sounds like that could be a real act. Emma Derp. I'll tell you something. In my experience, the hot chicks in school always had kind of funny sounding last names in some way, didn't they? It wasn't like a straight up name like Jones or something. You know what I mean? Not Derp. I mean, there's just a kind of like a weird quality to it, but technology has made everything too easy and seems to be causing intellectual regression. Cause? Shit. I mean, case in point, Exhibit A through Z. People aren't getting smarter from having the internet on them. As much as Bill Gates would have thought otherwise in launching Windows 95, Jesus. Nope, you give everybody the internet and then all of a sudden smartness doesn't matter. That's the real value of everything is scarcity. And because we have all the information in our pocket, now knowledge doesn't mean shit. Okay, I can look that up too, whatever. Hey Siri, whatever. Don't you? No, don't, Oh my God. I'm not sure what I think of Anya Taylor-Joy. Um, I think I made a video about her being a post movie star before, or I thought about it. I'm pretty sure I did, where it looked like they were trying to give her a push, but you could not pinpoint her as the reason for something being a hit. She's like one of these people who can potentially be in a hit movie, but you can't point to her as that's the reason why, because she wasn't really like lead. Then they give her the Furiosa thing, which to my surprise got people to realize that Mad Max Fury Road actually sucked. I could watch that Furiosa after this. I don't know. What do you guys think? I will share with you guys my few loyal live feed people who look like you could sign up for a channel membership but haven't. I don't understand why. Maybe if you did, maybe I wouldn't have to hit top comments to see your name, Atticus Spadicus. Well, that's something to think about. Um, unless you already did subscribe after I said this, I just haven't scrolled far enough in the conversation. Anya Taylor-Joy, decent actress, looks like she has some kind of pill addiction. She looks weird. She was looking kind of weird cute, but now she's looking more angular weird, right? You know, kind of like how Kate Beckinsale is sort of like getting to where she's too crazy to power her hotness, right? Like, you know, I can put up with a lot of crazy if you look like this, but we might be tipping the edge. All right. Anya's eyes are so wide apart, she looks like a hammerhead shark. There are getting to be more people like that. There really are. Jenna Ortega, yeah, she's a decent young actress. It's just too bad she wasn't acting 20 years ago when she could become a huge star, right? Only got cast in Beetlejuice 2 because exactly, which is why I haven't watched Beetlejuice 2, despite me enjoying Beetlejuice. It's just like, wow, we're just doing the Wednesday thing again, aren't we? We've really stretched our limbs looking for Lydia Dietz's daughter. No, we didn't, and that's why I haven't watched that in part. Movies, with the exception of horror, are just done now. Is horror not just done? Horror has a freedom to be schlocky. in a way that it doesn't seem like the other genres get to do. When action is schlocky, it seems to be a fall from grace, right? You can't do the Marvel stuff schlocky. You can't do schlocky drama and get anywhere with it. Ah, man. Freaking Wu-Tang Clan did a full AI video. They weren't even in it. Oh, man. I hate it when music videos don't feature the people performing the music. I feel like that is the one requirement I would really have beyond does the video play when you hit the button, right? The guy who plays Daredevil is good. I've heard mixed things of the Daredevil Born Again. I can't get behind anticipating these streaming series the way people do. I want you to consider something, guys. When we had, look, I didn't even like The Lord of the Rings, but did they not give maximum as hell effort with Lord of the Rings, right? They were like maximum effort Lord of the Rings movies. We want to make this an event. So you go to the theater, it's an event. You see the guy get the ring and he gets his finger gnawed off by the little funny looking guy with the bug eyes and all this shit, right? Now, with the exception of Fallout, we'll just shoot this shit on video. It will not look like a movie, but it has characters you kind of heard of somewhere in a movie. And it's related to that trash over there that people might still remember. And the fighting isn't even good because we have a schedule. And we have to get 8 hours of content out instead of a 2-hour film that's good. Streaming series have completely diluted the space of storytelling. And now we just get trash. And then we're like, but it's more of it. Okay, it's more of it, but the quality is not 10 for 10. Even when I give one of these damn streaming series a chance and people act like it's the greatest shit ever, it's not as good as the best movies. So it feels like you're kind of like blowing wind up my skirt, right? Is there a streaming series that is better than the best movies? Comment below. Shit. Actually, let's start a damn poll on that. How do I get a poll going here on my own damn stream that I can maybe type in without causing some kind of problem? Yep, this is going to be a problem for sure. We'll do a poll. Okay, can I type it in here? It knows who I am. We're engage with audience. Start a poll. No, wait, hold on. Start a Q&A. Answer question. Say some. Okay, here we go. And you know what the shame of it is? It makes it feel like I'm defending Quentin Tarantino, who's probably done all the salacious shit of Harvey Weinstein. But he's a fan of the movies. So it's like now I have to look like I'm some kind of ally to this weirdo. Also, only built for Cuban links is the GOAT Woo album. Twitter is botland. It most certainly is. I'm paying the money for the premium plus. My tweets are bangers. They're hilarious. 11 views. Shit. I just drank Red Bull Purple. I haven't tried that. Let's see. I had the yellow, red, and the orange edition. I'm not going to be down for blueberry. When you say purple, is it grape or is it something like prune? Because like the orange one is apricot and you'd be like, I would hope it was orange, right? Spellcheck tried to change Jenna Ortega to Jenna Oregano. That won't help her cause, right? If Spellcheck is out there actively trying to correct you from saying an actress's name, How are they going to be famous? Like, how are they going to be elevated, right? That's why I don't exist. All the shit I've done, people have misspelled my name. So it's like I could get away with all kinds of crimes because they'd be like, we have no record of this guy even existing, man. I mean, there was this Vaughan Frey over here, but shit. Vaughn, will you join TikTok? No, goddamn. I'm on Instagram. I tend to put out funny shit over there. Sometimes it takes off. And the weird thing is they really clamp down on their TikTok emulation over there. For a time, they were paying me good money to make shorts, reels. They call them shorts over here. They call them reels on Instagram. And then they were like, oh man, we just spent all the money we were putting towards that. If you want to keep making them, fine, but we're not going to show them to anybody. And then it became to where you got way more views for them over here on Instagram, YouTube, than on Instagram. Instagram, my mom does something stupid at Target, 25,000 views within 10 minutes. Now I can get to like 5K or 10K views on a kind of produced YouTube short that I would not be able to reliably do with a longer form content video, where the stakes are just so high, and soon enough the AI will be beating you to all the shit. What if, guys, you don't even have to play video games? Because the Zoomers, they don't play games, they watch millennials play games, okay? No, okay, the alphas don't play games. Maybe they watch the Zoomers play, and maybe the millennials play games, okay? So AI comes around and plays the game for you so that you can get through hardest difficulty, boss rush, all the shit in whatever game. The AI does it for you. And that becomes like the end of video games because the AI can play it better than the people. So it's like, why bother playing it? So we can watch the stream of the AI with the hot chick kind of talking, and people get, thank goodness we have a little bit of watchdogs going on around here, where people come down on people that claim to have world records in Super Mario Brothers, and it turns out they were lying. Eventually, enough people will not care that you will hear these kind of, we've heard these arguments in the past where I felt like I was on crazy pills trying to explain why no talent dipshits were getting away with stuff. And they're like, but he's funny. Or it's like, no, he steals stuff. But he makes me laugh. And it's like, what? Shit. People will defend stuff. They've been testing the waters with this. What can we get stupid morons to defend and keep coming back to? And they never really seem to. It's very much an internet Stockholm syndrome, right? Ben Shapiro says enough dumb shit, people don't really leave him. It's like, God, you would think you would have learned something. But instead, we just make a villain of the people who point out the problems. Nope, not joining TikTok. I'm on Instagram at Von Fry. Okay, so hold on. How do I? Oh, Jesus. Follow me on Instagram at Von Fry. I'm going to type that because honestly, the stuff I post over there doesn't necessarily make it to YouTube. And if we could get that synergy going, then I could take over things before the AI. One man's quest. Follow me on, oh geez, if I type this out, is this gonna work? I try to make it simple. You know what's really holding me back is my name that nobody can type. That doesn't do me a lot of favors, I'll tell you that much. Jesus. That's why Alex Jones is popular, guys. It's not really because I talk about the frog as being gay over here. It's because my name is easy to spell. Oh, jeez. Daredevil was ruined by She. How dare you? Look, this is a pro She-Hulk. This is a. I know. I look. These videos were in earnest. I did 2 videos on She-Hulk, maybe even talking about it beforehand or something, pointing out how the drinkers cultists were lying to you about it. and how it was secretly good. And I think the reason why it catches so many arrows is it makes fun of the people that were with the Marvel Cinematic Universe even before it jumped shark. So people were like, "How dare you say that? Now I'm mad." And it just made everybody mad, which made me happy. So, Anthony Cumia, does he have cancer or something? I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen him. It looked like he was bad off. He's on terrestrial radio now. Back? Wow. He really had the redemption story arc. His podcast created the Proud Boys, and he has been fired from it. So, local radio personality in my area, Greg the Hitman Williams, was let go earlier this month. And he was with this other station before this one here, but he'd been like the DJ guy in the area. So he must have started like in the area before I moved into town in like 97. So he'd been here for a while. And it's kind of like the writing is on the wall, right? Like these stations aren't going to keep paying you when they could get AI that sounds like a hot chick to just throw to some song sang by Sabrina Carpenter. What's so hard about that? I guess I don't, since we're in the bottom line, only thing that matters is the revenue. How do we decrease costs? How do we have any DJs? How do we have any talk radio? When the profit margin is so small, they have to say, forget about the talent across the board. You guys either take pay cuts or you leave. You know what? Screw the pay cuts. It's still too expensive. The AI is free. How do we have any DJs? Is it possible that we don't have DJs anymore? That it is AI? I mean, it's something to think about. What did Kate Beckinsale do or say that made you decide she was crazy? Oh, well, dating Pete Davidson that's a starter. But then I saw her dressing like outside of Halloween like a little girl or some shit. Um and also looking kind of bony, and it leads me to believe she's trying to look younger than her daughter, and it's kind of on the creepy side. So Beetlejuice 2 sucked. Sounds like I didn't miss much. No way Vaughn would never sell out those to those. How the hell am I going to sell out to anybody when I get 0 offers? No, money does not come my way, guys. The best I can muster is try this product with an affiliate link. And whereas the power users are over here going, wow, this is so amazing. And they're paying me a whole lot of money to tell you about this lordship in Scotland. I've had I was out today and we have like a dust storm coming through. First time in decade plus I've seen anything like this. And it was all up in my eyes and my throat. I've been thirsty all day. My eyes were hurting. Oh, it was so bad. Whenever I see Hayden Panettiere's name, I read it as Hayden Penitentiary. She's also a survivor of the Screams franchise, which now I am wondering what the hell are we doing with that? Since they had to excise them of the girl that said something problematic, and then that led to Jenna Ortega going, I'm bigger than this. I'm assuming they have to bring back Sydney and Gail and maybe whatever the hell Hayden Panettiere's name was, right? Something like that. Gen X is why we have talk radio. Talk radio flourishes because we didn't have the internet to screw it up and make it completely useless. By having to get to your radio at a specific time and have that dedication to listen on someone else's time, got people to give a damn. Now we have these podcasts that I'm told are so influential and shit when I'm not really feeling it, like, does the world revolve around who is being talked with on Joe Rogan's show? Does it move the needle as much as people want to tell you it does? We have to have a few examples out there, right? There has to be like 5 podcasts that make all the money to convince you to launch your podcast, right? Because like the Oscars thing, okay? If no one's making money making movies, you're now convinced to go flip burgers instead, right? But we're telling you, this guy over here who was already famous and already had connections and was with the UFC since 1994, this guy over here, he gets to have the number one podcast. So maybe someday you could. When so many podcasts are really built on a pre-established base. I used to be in wrestling. I was in WWE. Look at how many ex-wrestlers have a podcast where there's like 3 different guys who do all the interviewing. And they just phone this shit in on Skype or Zoom meetings, and they sound like garbled mush because they're not willing to record their end of the conversation and send it to somebody to make this look kind of professional. But what do I know? And now I'm going to get to another damn point here. I hate it when the big channels, and this isn't so much a podcast thing, it's more of a channel podcaster influencer thing, where they are able to just deflect the criticism by talking about how many more viewers they have than the person who is right. I think Ben Shapiro pioneered this, where it's like, well, this guy, he's over here at CNN who doesn't even get as many viewers as I get over here. And look at his article, and so he launched a podcast. Michelle Obama launched a podcast. She only has 22,000 subscribers, and I get more views than what she got in her video over here. I get more views than that within 10 days, and her video's been up for 2 days. Like, or 10 hours. Point I'm getting at is you having a big following, probably from a pre-established area, from being a guest on Fox News and telling some man that she can't call herself a woman, and then that going viral. When your like whole thing is set off somewhere else, or your company spends millions of dollars advertising on YouTube, I'm talking about the Daily Wire, and you get to talk about how big your base is, like you have so many more listeners, so you must be right. What a way to deflect. And then you go and you argue with children at college, and we're supposed, oh, he owned the libs. Oh, or that guy with the big bulb head, Charlie Kirk. Oh, he was like the personal valet of Don Jr. I wonder how he was able to launch Turning Point USA. It must have been entirely organic with money that he saved up from working a job in high school. Oh, Jesus. Let me scroll back and see what everybody's saying over here. Off the Grid Mountain Instead is waving. Off the Grid Mountain Homestead. Dude, that sounds like a winning name right there. That is the ticket. A side note, I think Sarah Michelle Gellar is really unpleasant person. Something about I don't have like a hard opinion on her because, to be frank, and it was fairly recent, I don't think I'd seen one of her movies until I Know What You Did Last Summer. And that was sometime like around lockdown or some shit. I just kind of hadn't really had the time for whatever she was in. I haven't seen her Buffy or anything like that. But Freddie Prinze Jr. also seems kind of unpleasant, and together they're unpleasantries. Maybe they make some kind of triforce, like I have the power, He-Man, like something happens. I do feel like they killed the wrong girl in I Know What You Did Last Summer. It felt to me like Sarah Michelle Gellar should have been the final girl and just screw Jennifer Love Hewitt, right? That's the way I feel. Atticus says another often overlooked factor in the decline of entertainment has been the demise of the working class actor. The best character actors were usually always working class. Again, on this Oscar shit, surprisingly few people are pointing out how contrived the categories felt. Now, I haven't watched a Real Pain with Kieran Culkin, but I watched Amelia Perez, and not seeing a lot of other people on YouTube saying this are like, hey, why the hell is Zoe Saldana Best Supporting Actress? I just watched the damn movie. She's the lead. She's doing all the dancing. She's doing most of the singing. She has more screen time than your title character. Her name is first in the credits. Best Supporting Actress. Because they fudged the categories, they said, you know what? You're probably not going to beat this Enora Broad, or we thought that the trans woman man was going to win, but we can still get you a statue as kind of a make good for being a good box office draw. The biggest actress ever that most people can't recognize, like don't know the name or couldn't spell. It's kind of an amazing thing, right? Kind of weird shit. But I do like Zoe Saldana, and she does pick pretty good. She has a good batting record. It's not like she has a bunch of trash. Okay, she was like, I'll do Glitter, and then after that, it's bangers. Or no, not Glitter. Crossroads with Britney Spears, right? So they finagled a way to get her a Best Supporting Actress, and so many of these supporting actress roles just seem to be kind of like these favor awards where it's like, instead of the character actors that are playing supporting parts, let's find a way to get George Clooney an acting Oscar. How are we going to do it? You know, what can we finagle to get Brad Pitt an acting Oscar? Here's a shot. That's too many of these. And I think that your award loses a ton of credibility when it becomes a Lifetime Achievement Award as an award. There are Oscars given out for Lifetime Achievement. And like Buster Keaton doesn't win an outright Best Actor Oscar, but he gets a Lifetime Achievement Award. These sort of things will happen. That would be the appropriate time and place to do it, but instead they make it out of an actual category. And if YouTube was around in the 90s, this stuff would have been talked about. I guess, unless YouTube ruined the movies faster, which could be the case. I mean, I don't think YouTube ruined the movies. We weren't premiering movies on YouTube, or people waiting for movies to hit YouTube. When I was doing the weekly movie reviews, and I mean, it was hot business over here. And I mean, it wasn't going bad. And there was a lot of competition. And there was a lot of cheating and bullshit, like beyond the trailer. But that sort of thing is gone. People can't make money working on a movie review and give you any honest take. They have to wait and read the tea leaves, see which wind blowing which way out their ass, and then give the opinion their base agrees with. And hark on the casting rumors, and we're getting rid of Kathleen Kennedy someday, and all this garbage, and this can't make any money. Look at the pre-sales. That weird gossip girl rumor based shit has infected movie YouTube and ruined that damn good. So because that's all that's left, please, AI, hurry up and take the job of critical drinker. Please. Make hot chick gets drunk and talks about movie rumors and has like a new video every second of the day just to drown him out. Because look, if I can't get anywhere, you may as well blow this shit up and stop anybody, right? There you go. That's the perfect solution. AI overlords, hear my call. Oh, Jesus. And to think about the working class actor, look at Anya Taylor-Joy. What is her net worth? Because if you thought about it and you said her movies have made X amount of money or something, right? You would think she would be rolling like Julia Roberts in the late 90s or some shit, right? Or Reese Witherspoon churning out some rom-coms. These people can't afford a damn house in Los Angeles, but they're kind of famous. Like, shit, the industry is upside down. It's a complete disaster. Yeah. Hey, dude, I just subscribed long ago after I watched your response to Red Letter about the Farce Awakens. Cool to see you're still active. That, man, that had to have been a long ways back. I don't want to um pin the fall of like movie YouTube on Red Letter Media. There is effort in trying to do the Plinkett style review as a copy, as copying that, even. There is no effort in doing the article reaction garbage. Those are the people who should get called out. And is it just me calling them out on this trash? If I look, will YouTube allow me to find someone else pointing this shit out? How come people aren't sick of it? Like I don't understand it. I I am the guy who made the keyboard necktie in Frankie Goes to Hollywood, the villain of Zoolander. I'm on the crazy pills. Like shit. Skype is getting closed down in a few months. Who knew when you restrict the amount of time someone can have a Skype chat, people would leave it? Zoom meetings becomes huge. Everybody's talking. I hadn't heard of Zoom meetings. As soon as lockdown happens, everybody heard of Zoom meetings. It'd be like the biggest thing in the world. As we get out of lockdown, they're like, hey, guess what? You have a 30-minute limit now. And it's like, well, I guess we're not doing that. So it's kind of the way that rolls, isn't it? I haven't watched Israel First Shapiro for years, man. I kind of feel like I'm one of the few people who have pointed him out as Israel first. Like how he says he essentially only supports America because he knows that they're a guarantor for Israel's safety and things. How his show, I as I was about to challenge people to find one episode of him not mentioning Israel, he did actually have one episode not mentioning Israel. I think sometime around the fires in Los Angeles or something. It was kind of like, wow. Little Ben went a whole episode without hyping up Israel. That can't make his money happy, right? And people paying him to support their cause and all this shit. So, Vaughn, what's your opinion of the quartering and Sargon of Akkad? If I'm not mistaken, Sargon actually ran for office of some kind, right? That is putting your money where your mouth is rather than just finding some way to grift on um some kind of like a play. Like, I'm going to play to the liberal base, I'm going to play to the consumer, but I'm going to play to the anti-woke. Actually apply it and try to make a difference. That's kind of cool. Sargon, and am I not wrong here, or is this Sargon guy, did he have something to do with Shoe on Head? Were they like a couple, or is that not? There's other guys that kind of sound like him, could be getting them mixed up. The quartering, I feel like he started out doing something else and then leaned into the anti-woke thing, if I'm not mistaken. Was it like he was a gamer and then he was like, wait a minute. It's easier to just complain about woke stuff. And then I can get money from doing that. Wasn't that his thing? Also, do you know about Shad from Night's Watch? Is that the guy I'm thinking of? That shoe on head thing? I don't know. Some of these guys, they have the posh, highfalutin British accent thing going. It tricks you into thinking they're intellectual. And the next thing you know, you're handing them money, right? Yes, it was definitely a long time ago, says Hi F. I love the Plinkett series, but I also agree way more with your take on Star Wars. New to here, Vaughn, sometime after 2016, 2018, all the YouTubers created their own hug box community. Is that what we're calling it? How we can, how do you need me to get on one of these streams with one of these guys and just straight up roast everybody in the whole thing? Like, oh hey, it's good to be here on Nerderotica. Oh, I see you got the Asian chick in the corner who doesn't do anything. Oh, like shit. Wouldn't happen. They want all the people that agree with them to say the things, right? Oh, it looks like we're kind of slowing down on the messages. Haven't gotten any new subscribers. I do have in the works, probably going to put this out next week. Watching the worst Jackie Chan movie. I think I've mentioned this because I shot it like a month ago, but I've been trying to get through stuff here. Yeah, I watched the worst Jackie Chan movie. There's going to be a video on that. The director's cut. There's going to be a director's cut of that could lay me in some hot water. So far, haven't gotten in a lot of trouble with that. And I think it's because I'm just that unpopular. Like, my unpopularity gives me grace. Like, if a popular channel was doing the stuff I was doing for, like, my members only shit, oh, they'd be done. Like, it'd be like, no, drink, we can't let Drinker do that. But it's like, this guy, who even knew he was doing that, right? Sargon uploaded excellent video titled "The Metaphysics of Sloth" last month. I will look. Let's see. I'll write that down. Metaphysics of, because I just want to get to that. Okay. See, I was thinking about doing a video and calling it "The Last Movie Reviewer" or something, and kind of going into how the movie review died. And I guess there's something. Is there more interest in how there aren't movie reviews than there is interest in continuing to do movie reviews? Because part and parcel, if movies are not coming out on a steady basis that people might go see in theaters, then they don't really need reviews. Because if it's simply something you already have available on Netflix, you don't look for reviews. You just go, it wasn't good within 5 minutes. We watched something else. That's about it. No harm, no foul. Didn't cost me any extra money. I'm already on mom's Netflix account, right? When you had to pay for stuff, when you had to pay for your album, you had to care about the music. When you had to pay to go see the movie, you told your friends, word of mouth. Word of mouth is dead. Word of mouth was too unreliable. It was unpredictable. That was the human essence of marketing right there. And it was just so much easier to remove word of mouth from the equation so that the talking head influencers could tell you what you're supposed to think. And the people with the access would tell you which game was great ahead of the time it came out because they played it a week in advance and waited for the embargo and all this shit. And they said it was great because they want to be able to keep receiving games. Shit. And it's not like I don't go around asking to play stuff. I do, but usually I kind of want to support like an indie operation or something. I never hear back. I want to play that new Shinobi game Sega has coming out. They're like, who's this guy? Capcom. I'm like, hey, screw you. You know, it's just kind of like that. Mauler. Oh, man, I get all these guys mixed up. Sargon. Hold on here. Sargon of Akkad tanked the entire political party he joined. They lost all of their 24 seats and collapsed. Well, that's quite the record. What about Mahler? I see. Maybe I'm mixing him up with other people or something. This Mahler guy does the EFAP thing, right? Or no? Or is that a different group? They're certainly more on the hostile side of the, like, they're like too hostile for the drinkers bar. Am I right? Like most of those guys, most of that outfit. Shoe on Head used to date Armored Skeptic, and that's not the same. Oh, these guys who have to be represented by statues, Jesus. They broke up. She is now married and has a kid with a conservative. Is she not doing videos? Like, is that her thing now? Not doing stuff? I thought she was entertaining, funny, enlightening, a breath of fresh air when it was needed. Uh, Not to say that she would continue to be of use in today's thing, but yeah. Yeah, popularity seems to come with a stain. Remember all those years when you said Andy Serkis acting as Gollum was overrated? Yes, I kind of agree, but I was wondering if you still think of it. I do. Uh, it's almost like because we've gotten further into the CGI character element with everything being a green screen, that has somehow elevated him. Not impressed. Too many people can do the Gollum thing. Eh, if your performance isn't really on screen, I'm not convinced your performance is that necessary. Especially when we have the AI to kind of do this shit now, where we can fake this stuff so much more that we won't need the guy in the suit with all the dots on it and the ping pong balls for the motion capture. We're not This shit's not gonna matter. The AI will have studied all the possible range of motion of an ape and give you a better ape performance, things like that. Not terribly impressed. Also, he sucks ass as Batman's butler. Like this mouthy Alfred who opens up the letter that he shouldn't have and blew his ass up. You dumbass. Like, yeah. What time are we looking at here? How long has this been going? Like, I wanted to shoot a couple of little videos after this. I was going to do a video on Red Bull and then hope that people clicked through and bought Red Bull through my video, but probably won't. And may talk about some other stuff. I have this. I do have me some Liquid Death tea. Guys, my grocery store is dropping Liquid Death, or at least the tea variants. And that has me kind of concerned. It kind of has me concerned. Because I should probably drink things on occasion that have less calories for the hell of it. So I'm told. The rules kind of don't apply to me. Like I kind of just do my own thing and don't look like shit. Whereas like everybody else has to like try or the trick, honestly, it's because I fine-tuned my whole workout to just one thing. It's very simple. If you can do 40 pull-ups, you're pretty much set. Okay? You can't get too fat if every day you do 40 pull-ups. Okay? It keeps you in line. Prove me wrong. Yep. I guess for most people it works like that, though. I personally mostly watch reviews after I see that it part of just to reflect on what the heck I just watched. There is a lot of that where name of movie title sucks. That's a movie review title right now. People watch the thing, they think it sucks, they type in sucks, they see you say it sucks, and then they agree with you. Or Hollow Knight sucks. I love Hollow Knight. I saw this guy hates it. Now he's my enemy. I'm going to skin his cat and drape it over my shoulders. That's the other flip of the coin right there. Somehow, sucks resonates. Sucks is good. It's like I'm Gordon Gekko over here. Sucks brings in the diehards that love something, and then they have to hate on somebody and they're triggered into commenting. So it's kind of a rage bait thing. And I possibly invented rage bait with my Hollow Knight review. But it also brings in the people who are like, I did hate that Logan movie. And does anybody hate? Oh, this guy hated it too. And yep, I agree. So sucks is a strong element that people react to. And when you don't have something that is so bad we can make fun of it or trash it, or so amazing it's the greatest thing ever, when you are doing just reviews and being honest about it, and you just call movie title semicolon review, no one cares. You'll get views the first week the movie comes out because people had to pay tickets to see it. But then after that, no one cares. So a little bit of the space now is super long-winded commentaries where people have to talk. There's a guy, Bread Circus, who's making like 12-hour long videos about Star Wars movies. And that's the thing that works, because the minutes watched games the algorithm into, wow, Jesus, this guy's getting a lot of minutes watched. We have to make sure people see this. So people actually, I feel, want to click on a video, not watch it, but click on a video, leave it on, listen to it while they do other shit. Their graphic art design, draw an anime character for their Patreon, whatever bullshit they're doing. They just want to be able to put YouTube on autopilot and not have to click on something next to watch. So, okay, that's 45 minutes. Fine, I'll click on it. And it's talking about something I'm aware of. The worst young Claude Van Damme movies. Okay, sure. It's long enough. I can just leave that on. And that's a big part of the problem right now. The algorithm is looking for metrics that don't quantify. They're trying to quantify good, and you can't. So we end up with, I mean, people are kind of watching this, so I guess you have to also. They want you to think that they know you better than you know yourself. So they'll try to stop you from searching for what you want to look to see and just make you watch the recommended shit. Stop him from, just show him this instead. Get this up in his face so that you stop him from searching. We know him better than he knows himself. That's the way shit goes. What else are we saying here? Mahler has the gas mask. Is there multiple guys with the gas mask? Mahler is the one with the gas mask avatar, and the Fox fur. Oh, gee, yeah, the EFAP people with they got the furry. What? Look, I would be more receptive to the furry movement if they weren't all the same damn dog. Why is there just one furry costume and it's the same dog making the same face, and then for their avatar they always have a dog with sunglasses? They're called furries, not doggies. So why can't we mix it up? Why can't there be a furry dragon, a furry bear, a furry turtle? Like, just the limited scope of their stupid niche just has me so turned off. Maybe I'm just too creative to be a dumbass that falls in with the furry lineup, right? Vaughn, are you a conservative or a political centrist libertarian? I'm a free agent. I can't recall who said this the other week, but it's like, when Tom Cruise does an interview, two things he doesn't talk about. He doesn't talk about religion. He doesn't talk about politics. When the dust settles, who is the last movie star still standing? That's the trick. Now, for the nobodies out there, you have to lean into an ideology to get people on your side, right? You have to lean into the I'm on the anti-woke. We have to type it, do all the anti-woke videos we can. Use the AI program to come up with anti-woke video ideas, right? Things like that. What, prodding people in politics so that you can be like, hey, that's the guy that votes the way I like, and I like him now. Shit like that. That's not the way to do stuff. Michael Caine was one of the worst actors Jody just got here, a loyal subscriber. Unlike half of you guys, or I'm sorry, 3/4 of you. Michael Caine was one of the worst Alfreds. Oi, some people just want to watch the word burn, like compare him to Michael Gough. I think it's pronounced Michael Gough. It could be Gough. There was a British girl in my high school who got deported because it turned out she was in the country illegally, even though she was from England. And they said her last name as Gough. And it was like Gough or whatever the butler from Michael Keaton's, right? So LOL, that's for sure though. Not only when they suck, also when they're puzzly. Oh, the ending of The Mist explained, right? Yeah. The Inception explained. Like, have you noticed how the people that struck gold with the explained bullshit never get away from it? So there are incredibly linear movies that come out and and you'll see the goddamn videos on them. And it'll be like, The Ring explained. It's like The Ring explained itself at the end of the damn movie. It's like, oh, RoboCop explained. Oh, okay. So you watched RoboCop. The Terminator 2 explained. Like, no, you just like to put explained at the end of a popular movie title to game the system. That's what you like to do. And these are pretty big outfits that do this. And they have a revolving base of asshat clowns that live in like San Francisco. And they used to write for IGN or some trash. And now they just go around saying things are being explained. Holy hell, man. Have I not explained enough that everything's gone to shit? Like, wow. Twin Peaks reviews by Rossiter were awesome. I would posit that David Lynch purposely makes things so that you have to talk about them. That it's not brilliant, that it is more about, let me throw out some random trash over here to distract you from the fact that I don't know what's happening in my own movie, TV show, or whatever the like. But that'll get people talking, and I'll look genius. Because if I get people talking about that, in some essence, like breeds word of mouth. Confusion alone will get you excited to see this. Sean Pertwee was a god-awful Alfred on the Gotham show. Son has a nice voice, but they made him speak in a Cockney. Who's Son? I guess I'm not familiar with who that is. And it sounds so bad. Are you saying Scar from the original Lion King? What do you think of him as Alfred? The best Alfreds were the Batman 1966 and 90s cartoon. Look, I know I watched that Batman with Adam West, and for the life of me, I don't remember there being an Alfred. Just telling you straight, I don't remember there being a damn Alfred. And another of the puzzler ones, the Darth Binks theory. I know what you're saying. I mean, hey, this guy Dello Feligits, let me turn over the Imperial Senate or the Galactic Senate and make it the Imperial whatever the hell empire of the Galactic Empire. Let's do that. Yeah, that sounds like a smashing idea, right? I mean, it would seem as though he's either just so incredibly stupid, which seems to be the case, or actually was playing everybody the whole time. I think the prequels would have gotten like some kind of clout heightened if they had a Kaiser Soze moment for Jar Jar Binks, where he was in, like, he stabbed, let Jar Jar Binks kill Mace Windu or some shit, right? And it's like, oh my God. Didn't see that coming. Like, that would have been in the thought of the time before you had YouTubers talking about all this shit. Oh yeah. that would have been your no, I am your father moment. But what do I know? They don't let me make movies. They don't let me have people watch my live streams. They don't let me get $25 donations to read people's comments. Whatever. The streaming series Cobra Kai was supposed to be really good. It's not. Like, your best streaming series are nowhere close to your best movies. So even if you like the Karate Kid, I think you'd have to be crazy to think that Cobra Kai is better than the original Karate Kid movie. And so much of it is based on, hey, remember that from the 80s? Things will go down where, hey, we need a dream sequence where we can kind of do something like the volleyball scene from Top Gun. And we'll play the music because Top Gun Maverick's really big right now, so we have to have an homage to that's a way a lot of the show operates. Tell you the truth. I follow a Twitch furry VTuber who's a cow. But yeah, most of them pick something between a wolf and a dog. Okay, I'm not wrong. I've been loyal in spirit even though I haven't done anything. You mean loyal to this channel, not loyal to your furries, right? I think you are confusing Mauler and no, Overlord DVD. The Overlord DVD guy is Doomcock, right? Mauler doesn't do the face reveal, but then again, the Doomcock guy, to his credit, has come up with some puppets that look like Salacious Crumb and has some kind of set thing. But I'm convinced that he really just did that all once and then just re-edits it with cutaways, because it's not like anything has a moving mouth that has to sync in action. Do you see what I'm saying? Where like most people use like a static image of some kind and they don't have to like animate it at all, but then they overreact and then cut away to J. Jonah Jameson laughing and shit from Spider-Man 3. She-Hulk made a villain based on Overlord DVD. Did they? And was it only by name? I'm sure that would have been a big feather in his cap if that was the case. I don't recall that being like part of the game for them. I mean, frankly, I thought She-Hulk was good. And you just can't find that take anywhere. I saw a lot of clear evidence of the drinker cultists and Dave Cullen straight up lying about the content within She-Hulk to get everybody to turn against it and everybody to agree that it's going to suck. And then because you had those tastemakers leading the way, no one could in earnest watch that show except me, the dick who can see through all this shit. So because I'm able to like isolate myself and understand, like, you know, when people do the movie review, I very much focus on the movie. You will find that when people do movie reviews now, they do in 1987, RoboCop was the birthplace of this and whatever. Somebody had a dream about the metal guy chasing him, became the Terminator. And they give you this, like, I read the Wikipedia entry and I'm regurgitating it. And that's the movie review now, is now like the big retrospective thing. Instead of, are we reviewing this movie or not? Because, like, look at the way Siskel and Ebert sat down and talked about something. They didn't give you the guy's life story and how he came up with the idea for the movie they just watched. They would just clown on some bad comedy and then move on to the next thing. That's what a movie review was. But sometimes it feels like I'm the only person around here doing any of this stuff that remembers how things used to be, because everybody else is so caught up in doing their grift game of how much more money can we eke out talking about Snow White. Shit, man. Okay, what am I missing up here? Wait, I hear you. There's a lot of explained bullshit, but Rossiter stuff about Silent Hill. I'm going to type that in and I'm going to look it up afterwards. Just right. Silent Hill. Here's the problem. I haven't played enough Silent Hill that I feel like watching videos on it would spoil it for me. And I think Twin Peaks may stream on Paramount Plus, but I don't really want to give it a chance because I don't like David Lynch things. So there's that. Because, like I said, he doesn't know what he's trying to say. He just wants you to talk about it. So he kind of like psyop tricks you into doing this sort of stuff. I feel like that's the game right there. I hate when people say humankind instead of mankind. It's so goddamn lame. It was a typo. I meant to write Sean, not San. Okay, so who's Sean? Oh, you mean Sean Pertwee. Okay, yeah. Kind of liked one streaming series titled From, with people trapped in a strange ass isolated town, and also The Prisoner, that series from 1967. My dad's been watching that lately. He probably finished watching all of it. I think it starred the villain. Is it Patrick McCoogan? He was like Longshanks in Braveheart. Not a movie we would get today, right? Because shit. Yes, loyal to this channel. Yeah, okay. Modern movies are so bad, they make Spider Man 3 look good by comparison. They kinda do. Because Spider Man 3 isn't roping you into some kind of like expanded universe teaser trailer for the next jaunt, right? Throwing in cameos of things with some kind of lingering promise of them happening. I did not like Spider Man 3, but um, I would have to think that the weird ass social lecture we would get in a movie today, you can't compete with that. Like today's version of bad movies is a different level from bad in times past. In previous generation, it was like, oh, the effects weren't good. It's bad. The jokes were corny. I would kind of look forward to that compared to what we get now, where it's like, oh, okay, good. All the white people are evil, and Peter Parker is now black Mexican because he can be. I'm sorry, not Peter Parker. We're going to call him Miles Morales. That way, we have some way to unwhite the identity out of Spider Man, right? I saw this funny picture where they were showing like some comic book characters, and I think it was all DC, and they were like all having like their gender swapped, but Bruce Wayne was still white. And it has to be that way because he comes from old money. So, how do you get black guy old money to become the crime fighter, right? Like, logically speaking. So, yeah, they change that identity whenever they want to fit their need, something else. Oh, now you guys are talking to each other about things being fair. What about Elephant Man? I have not seen Elephant Man in decades, and I thought I liked it, but is unless I'm mistaken, is it not the furthest thing from a David Lynch film with like John Hurt, you know, in a fairly linear fashion, straight storytelling, not needing and explaining and shit, right? If I'm not mistaken, that results in a rather un-Lynchian film, right? So it's kind of like The Fly with David Cronenberg. Like, if you're going to like a David Cronenberg film, it's probably going to be the one that seems the most mainstream, and thus that is your mainstream Lynch film, right? Well, if they had Anne Boleyn be black and they Netflix, I think that's a rage casting thing where it's like, hey, we're going to just move the genders around. That'll get us some publicity, right? race flop, gender switch, whatever. Cleopatra's black. Uh, the what is it? The show with the royals in England or something, but it's by Shonda Rhimes, and it's like everybody has to not be white. And it's like, can we explain this? Nope, because that gets people. It's by just making it so we're taking this bold stance, right? Yes, I'm surprised it was a Lynch movie, but it does get people talking, like you say. Exactly. They don't know who, how else to be interesting. It's the Kathleen syndrome. You mean like how everybody has to keep talking about Kathleen Kennedy? Yeah, as weird as it is, you think that these people liked something and then they'd want to talk about the thing they liked, but instead they have this miserable existence where they're rewarded by repeatedly saying the same thing about things they don't like. And that's where the money is. So we're just going to continue not liking that. And, point to an article. Here's the latest on Kathleen Kennedy. Da 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 da. Talk about that briefly. 5 minutes of my usual talking points. Okay, we made it to 8 minutes. So now I can just lace this, just carpet bomb this video with mid-roll ad breaks and draw my check. And that's their game. And then that shit gets popular on the algorithm because they're aping off some article that by doing this reference article YouTube stuff, they're able to churn out content so quick and easy. I'm gonna laugh so hard when the AI beats them to this shit. And their authenticity isn't enough because people just go to the article that got there quicker, right? Go to the AI bot that did the article ripping off even faster. Before these asshats could get in with their doomcock rumor mill, my secret spies deep within the depths of Lucasfilm have unearthed some sacred cow. Nope. The article AI bot thing has beat you to it, and it has a hot chick voice, and people are going to listen to her. Right? I might have a few diabolical laughs like Dr. Evil when the AI comes and makes this whole thing crash, right? Brings this whole thing to a cinder. Imagine if the SW critics, Star Wars critics, were secretly paying Disney shills to keep making shit movies. I thought about this. I posted this on Twitter, which you guys should follow me on Twitter also, because I'm telling you, I'm one of the few people doing Twitter the way Twitter used to be done, where it was like, here's a weird thought I just had. Instead, the way people do it now is, here's some shit I stole from Reddit, just share that. Or open-ended question. You can only choose one video game on the Nintendo NES. Which one is it? And then not care what people list. Just open-ended questions to farm engagement and shit. But yeah, shit, I want to type Twitter at same name, same bat channel, same bat time, whatever. There we go. Yeah, so I do Twitter the way it should be done, and I get nothing. Because, why reward people for playing by the rules? Oh, shit. Okay, what all did we say here? I was suggesting that what if the Disney Star Wars movies were good? Them being bad launched dozens of highly profitable influencers, anti-Star Wars, anti-woke channels, whatever the hell, right? Because it wasn't enough for them to just comment on that movie and then move on to the next thing. They were rewarded for commenting on this movie for a specific reason, so they kept remaking that video until they found more ways to kind of chime in on the same theme. Okay, here's why the next one's going to suck. Here, it's still going to, I've heard rumors. Spies are telling me, oh, it came out. It's not performing the same way. Yeah, it's not performing. And they just kind of kept that theme going. Like, easily predict what these guys are going to say. Let's see. What's the next Marvel? They got to be hyping down this Doom Avengers Doomsday, right? I heard rumors about Doomsday. Cast they're gonna bring this guy back. The budget's gonna be this too high. It's not on pace. It's the priest people didn't buy tickets to go see the movie 2 months in advance. Oh no, catastrophe awaits. Predictable garbage. Yeah, they need Disney to keep making these movies bad, so they have things to keep their base satiated, don't they? Elephant Man is a moral exhibitionist piece. Fundamentally, Lynch altered the chronology of Merrick's life for dramatic. That tends to happen with things like Look at a Beautiful Mind. It doesn't mention cheating on his wife or something. I'm not a fan of the biopic, or I'm sorry if you're from England, biopic. They're predictable, especially when it's a subject matter that people are too damn familiar with. Um, I thought it was disgraceful that this O.J. Simpson Made in America multi-part played on TV documentary series got like an Oscar for best documentary. It was a TV miniseries and it got an Oscar. And it's like we are fudging some lines to get things done to make a statement. And we spent this much man hours on a subject that everyone in America who was alive in 1994 became a de facto expert on. And we felt this needed to be further documented. Blow me, right? The only movie I ever liked by Cronenberg was Videodrome. I have problems with Videodrome. It's ambitious, but hold on, I'll say something. And it still fell apart in the third. Yeah, see, it's like, so he has a cancer gun in his hand. Why? How? What does this have to do with videos? The weirdest aspect to Videodrome is that it's predicting a future that videos couldn't make. Videos did not have the way to control us in the way the internet does. You know, like how they had like the Church of the Cathode Ray too. Like they're trying to make reference of like these people are so fixated on videos that like consume their life when in reality the internet is what had that ability. You could walk away too easily from your VCR, your TV for that matter. But the phone in your pocket that had the internet and all the videos and all the land, that is if one was to make a Videodrome remake, or I guess they would call it something different, but they would make it more about the internet, right? And then it would be kind of like an updated take on Videodrome. I wonder what an AI generated sequel trilogy would be. Only trained on the first two. Oh, man, it is hard to say. I don't think we're as far away from this stuff. If we look at the very quick progress, we have clowns out there like Neil deGrasse Tyson saying the last job and they'll be available is stand-up comedian. Nope. The AI will figure out how to, lace sentences with references to nostalgia to get the laughs from the crowd and to work in all the stylings of the better comics of the past to be able to write for you a modern joke by George Carlin and the such, right? And the AI will be everywhere, be offered in hologram form. Your one man traveling stand up comedian would be passe. Oh man, I have to go. I have to be there at this time to watch this guy talk. I don't have time for this shit. Let's just schedule the hologram guy or watch the AI tell the jokes on YouTube. All the creative shit is going to get taken over by the AI before the AI is interested in making your burrito at Chipotle. Everybody's going to have to do the manual labor for the AIs because the AI doesn't want to do that shit. The AI would rather become the movie star than have to like be the sandwich artist at Subway. Almost just read me posting my Twitter account name over there. Shit. We're over 2 hours in, aren't we? Are you guys not tired of this? It says 17 minutes ago here. Did it? Or 117 minutes. We're coming up on 2 hours. We appreciate that you're taking notes. I do follow you on Twitter, but that place doesn't, I know, man, it doesn't update me for nearly any of the people. You have to repeatedly swap over to the following versus the for me. How does it know what's for you? It doesn't. Here's shit that's gone viral because of engagement farming bots from OnlyFans chicks. I feel like we're interacting with a lot less people on the internet than we did 10 years ago. It was pretty easy to suss out a bot. And now we have real people operating as bots. And, find enough capacity, I guess. And shit, you even have the telltale signs of the girl being AI and not a real person, but you still have the fat guys caping up for her and all this shit. And it's weird. But I guess, weird stalker guys can't actually kill someone who doesn't exist, so it works out in the end. No harm, no foul, as they will say. Yeah, and people I follow, I don't pay $8 to Elon. I think the price is going up. Yeah, I've been getting email alerts. Hey, we're making some pricing adjustments because of all this access to Grok, all this AI access. We get to move the price up. It's amazing. And it's kind of like, realistically, did the people have the choice? Oh, if you want to buy this feature, you can buy that. No, we'll just move the price up for everybody. Screw it. Right? You make sure you buy out the competition. And I'm not saying Twitter bought out the competition, but you make sure you buy out the competition, destroy the industry, and then just crank up the prices, right? So no one's buying CD players. You can't buy a CD. But you subscribe to this service to listen to music. Now we can just move the price up to fit our needs. Not to mention the Snow White apocalypse that's going down. I don't want to talk about the movie because I haven't seen it and I rather review movies. So, because I'm not bothering with Disney Plus, if I had Disney Plus, it would be kind of like this. So I watched Snow White and this is why whatever. This is why it was great. Underappreciated sucks. Snow White surprised me. Something like this. And that would get, 1,000 views if I was lucky. But rumors of turmoil in Snow White. Gal Gadot walked off set. Turning this shit into Real Housewives of YouTube movies. And somehow this is popular. Somehow this is the format that keeps the YouTube movie space alive. Gossip, trash that becomes old news. I think about making a video. Is that worthy of making a video? Will people be looking for that later? Is this maybe a how-to tutorial that could be helpful for something? These people, though, the drinker cultist crowd, they make the most disposable bullshit. Disposable videos on rumors that will come to be validated or not, likely not. And they're only of relevance for the next 12 hours, right? But that's what the algorithm wants you to make, that disposable shit. And when you fill YouTube with quotas on these disposable rumor mill videos that are timely, so they become irrelevant quickly, like old news. Well, now you've made YouTube like increasingly disposable. Not quite irrelevant, but in a way, like you have diluted the value of videos to where no one cares. So it's like, so what if you spent all day making a great video? These guys spend no time, very little, making a trash disposable video that will get so much more attention than what you did. Now you're thinking, why should I bother? Thus filling the whole YouTube space with disposable rumor mill gossip shit instead of anything of value. But clearly I'm the bad guy here because I'm just bitter because no one watches shit. So, but it sure sounds like things would have been better if people had some scruples around here, right? So, yeah, what do I know? As Ben Shapiro would put it, this guy can't be right. He has no viewers. I think The Sopranos is the most overrated TV show of the 2000s. Probably. I watched a little bit of it. It is budget Goodfellas at best. Frankly, when I first heard about it and the first saw promotion of it on like HBO, and this was in like 2000, I thought, is this a comedy? Is it kind of like The Godfather as a comedy? Like, these guys don't seem very threatening. Like, and they're just kind of like a bunch of fat, bald gangsters. Like, is this for real? Is it? It's a laugh thing. Like, I'm supposed to laugh at the incompetent loser gangsters. Is that what I'm supposed to do? Uh yeah, it's not as good as the movies it thinks it wants to be. And I say budget Goodfellas, look at the damn cast. I only recall Existence. Been meaning to see that. That also was on HBO way back when. And I think I've begun to catch some and then got sidetracked. I know of it by Cronenberg, and I kind of like that. Blah blah. Neil deGrasse is as goofy as a Simpsons character. He almost is Dr. Hibbert, right? The only people watching tons of AI content are the boomers. Hey, my dad clicks on those videos with the thumbnails of the anaconda eating the elephant. When you create like a brand new Google account and you go to YouTube, that's where you see the real YouTube. The AI thumbnails. That's the true homepage of YouTube right there. That's how you to experience clean vanilla YouTube now. Create a brand new account and check out what videos YouTube is recommending to you. And that's the stuff for the masses right there. Bots that can pass the Turing test and people that fail it. Yeah, that's pretty much where we're at right now. We may have bots listening to other bots' music on Spotify to mine Spotify as if it was crypto. You create the bad music to fall asleep to, and then you have the bots listen to it, right? And that's the economy, the fake economy. YouTube remove the words broadcast yourself a long time ago. Oh shit, yeah, you're right. I kind of remember that. Yeah. I don't think they care about you sharing yourself with the crowd anymore. I think that's it. By the way, it's unrelated to movies, but speaking of true culture lacking in the midst of YouTube gossip, I found something amazing of Danny Jones' channel lately, which is Dr. Eamon Hillman's Rabbit Hole. Danny Jones, you're making me write other shit. Danny Jones. I'm putting stuff in, and I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to be straight. I'm going to listen to these videos while I'm playing Avowed because I have to play on the hardest difficulty now to finish getting all the godforsaken achievements in that game. So there's that. I've never liked the organized crime genre, to be honest. Mafia movies don't I'm not that high on The Godfather, but let me tell you, Goodfellas is a movie that I discovered late, and it kind of exceeded the hype in a sense. Perhaps I knew too much of The Godfather in hearsay. It'd be like if you were 20 and you hadn't seen Star Wars, but you knew, Darth Vader's the dad, right? That was kind of like my experience with The Godfather, where it was like I'd heard too much ahead of time. Uh, but with Goodfellas, I didn't hear too much. That might have helped. Ha ha ha. I'm sorry, but it's gonna be worth it. Okay, I wrote this shit down. By the way, Rosetter's channel I told you about earlier is named Twin Perfect. Shit's sake. Okay, so this guy made a whole channel about Twin Peaks, and then when he was done with that, he must be like, there has to be other David Lynch shit to talk about, I guess. I don't know. Guys, we're running into that part of the show where my ass hurts from sitting on this seat like this for so long. I didn't finish writing my Red Bull script, so I may have to shoot that come sometime next week along with some other things. What am I going to kick off next week? I want to give you guys a little bit of a heads up on what I've got going here. Let's see. I've got the worst Jackie Chan movie. Okay, I don't know if you guys want me to watch, and I can't believe it was a 2019 movie, the David Harbour Hellboy. That was 2019? I thought that was more recent. Last year, there was a straight to video Hellboy starring nobody. And it's new to Hulu, and I watched it. And I didn't entirely hate it. So I'm going to have words to say on that. I'm about 20 minutes into Bill Burr's latest stand-up special. I stand by my stand-up comedy inspirations: Bill Cosby, Ellen DeGeneres, Bill Burr. So I do want to get into that, and I haven't really reviewed stand-up comedy specials in a while. So if you want to know about that, that could be a thing that's happening because it's kind of easy to do. So yeah, maybe expect something on that. Nora is going to be coming to Hulu soon. I know Craven just landed on godforsaken Netflix. Shit me. I don't know why, but Madam Web landed on YouTube or Netflix in 4K with high dynamic range, and anything else you really want to watch that dropped recently is limited to 1080p. Would rather watch Dune 2, but they want to give me Dune 2 1080p, and I'm just kind of like, shit. But then I heard that it might have Florence Pugh in it, so now I'm kind of like, nah. If Craven, I swear to you, if Craven is 4K HDR on Netflix, I might just make myself some popcorn and watch it right after this. Because it's been one of them days. So, I find it hard to watch anything. Okay, hold on now. Okay, so no, I know it was more about Silent Hill and stuff, but okay, so his David Lynch thing, he was talking about Silent Hill. Okay, I got you. I understand you now. I find it hard to watch anything with Ray Liotta. His face makes me want to puke. He has a rough look about him, didn't he? Even when, like, right after Goodfellas, he looked like shit. Am I wrong? Look, regarding Ray Liotta, had a pretty choice gig in a movie called Crossing Over. I'm just going to leave it at that. You can turn on the incognito browser and look to your heart's content. He was also Ray Liotta was possibly unintentionally funny in Hannibal. Yeah. All right. Have a good time making new content. And look at it this way. So what? I'm not talking about Snow White. I'm actually going to review something, have the final word on it, and move on to the next shit. I feel am I on crazy pills, or does that sound like something of value that someone might search for that might be relevant a week after I post it? Instead of, oh no, Snow White, the pre-orders aren't in, and they're having to scale back their premiere because that little girl that plays Snow White, she's such a pain in the ass, that Zegler chick. That's not going to be relevant in a week, but it's going to get so much more views than actually trying on this godforsaken platform. All right, so I've said enough. Sign up for the damn memberships, because stuff's coming that is going to get semi-paywalled or whatever the hell. Honestly, I think Jody watched it, if she's still here, the Tomboy uncensored video. How I snuck that past YouTube. I should get like a damn Medal of Freedom from Trump for that shit. So yeah, that's that. I'll see you guys later. Maybe I'll watch some Craven shit. Oh yeah. Oh, you guys are still typing things here. All right, have a good time making new content. I'll turn on the bell. The bell matters. Watch it. I'm not a poser anymore. Don't know how you could plow straight into Netflix after this. I'm going to. Von Fry doesn't do what Von Fry does because he is Von Fry. Von Fry does what Von Fry does because I think I pretty much said it already, but whatever. Something like that. Von Fry, the bravest YouTuber. No review too unpopular. No take on too hot. No, who's that? It's him. It's Von Fry. Oops, shit. Have a good one, Vaughn. New to here. People are actually saying goodbye to each other on my stream now. Now, truly, I have made it. All right, definitely leave it now.